Hello, everyone. So I don't normally stream on Sunday anymore, and I definitely don't normally stream more than 3 days a week anymore, but today I just wanted to fix a couple of bugs here and kind of prep things for some stuff that I wanted to do off stream so I'd be ready for Thursday. I could have done that off stream still, but you know what? I figured it was a simple enough thing that I might as well just do a little impromptu stream here and fix it up. So, the goal for now is to make it so that the pipes are all hooking up correctly. So right now, I actually think I currently have them in just doing random things, but regardless of which direction you face the pipe, the place that it checks to get the previous pipe and the next pipe are all exactly the same. Doesn't matter what direction it's facing, none of that matters right now, and I want to fix that. I want to make it so you actually have to have your pipes connected in order to do things. That just makes sense, you know? So I wanted to work on that, and if I have some extra time, I might fix the little issue with flipping right now, because that's going to be relevant too. So my goal for Thursday's stream is just to implement splitters and mergers, basically. And it's kind of hard to do that until I know where my pipes are connected and where all of the energy that's flowing through the pipes is coming from. Again, I make it pretty hard. So I just wanted to fix that. Alright. So we'll just jump right in with some easy ones. Basically everything but the turn pipes, there's gonna be easy. So I had kind of started on that last time with... Where are they? Yeah. Where I was putting in the coordinates for how it's giving and receiving. So it looks like I've already got that for most of this, if I remember correctly. The phylactery doesn't count because it technically will receive from every direction, but... well, we'll do it like this for now. Yeah, I guess just to give a basic idea of how I want to handle this. From a high-level conceptual level, there are these little sources of power. I'll just go ahead and run the game so I can talk about it sanely here. Is it up? I'll wait for it. There it goes. So we have these little sources of power that I am currently representing with brightly colored boxes. And those are going to be where you get your resources from, more or less. So you put a thing on there, your equivalent of a miner or, you know, an extractor in shapes or whatever have you. And then you run pipes through places into this, currently I just have it as a red thing. And that there will be where you want to funnel all your resources to. And the current plan is to make it so that this is essentially one shard of it. Yes, and after a while you'll put potentially 4 next to each other, and they do have to be next to each other, and then you can funnel more than one pipe into things. That is tentatively the plan. But everything is a little bit vague right now. That's just how things are at the beginning. It's not that much different from drawing pictures, you know, when I'm just plopping down color and being like, do I like this? I don't know. Let's figure it out. And I think a lot of what it's going to take to figure it out is just going to be to figure out what feels good and what makes sense. But tentatively, there's gonna be 4. But, since they're all essentially one object, conceptually, I guess, conceptually, then I think I'm just gonna treat this as one thing. So I'll just let you be able to feed it from all 4 directions, and I should probably think about how I actually want to code that, given that it can receive from multiple directions, but I think that's a job for future me. I just kind of want to get the basic stuff in. So let's see, if I recall right, we have, yeah, one type of pipe that I'm worrying about right now. I'm going to do the turnpipe last. So let's see, what do I have for the extractor? Yeah, there it is. So yes, I've already got all the basic things coded. I just didn't determine where exactly. Basically how to handle rotation and stuff. That is the big thing. So, I think the way I want to do that is I just want to have a little function in here that will determine how things are flipped and twisted and all that good stuff. And I'll go ahead and start with the extractor since that is the front. That's where all the chains start. So I'll go ahead and start with that. So there's no real need to have a function that calculates where it receives stuff from because it literally doesn't happen. It does not. Extractors do not receive anything. So let's just there we go. I was like, it's 4 letters, but no, I forgot one there. Part of me, I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of repeated code here, and part of me feels like I should just figure out a way to make this a little bit more elegant, but I don't know, I think this will be easier to read. So I think I'm just gonna roll with it, and if I regret my decisions later, I can refactor the code, it's fine. So, let's just do it like this for now. I'll just call it extractor, get, extractor, did I spell that right? Extractor, there we go. Gives... Do I need the location? I don't think so, because I think all I want to do is get the coordinates. Or not the coordinates, but basically the direction that it's facing. And so in order to get that, I'm going to need a value for its flipping and rotation. Yeah, I had kind of started that last time. I'm remembering where I left off on Thursday. But yeah, I had kind of started that last time when I put in... So we have this. Yeah, and I was calculating a variable down in my spawn building that I called facing. And I think this is going to be what I want to use. And I might actually use this, well... Alright, I'm gonna back it up a bit. I'm trying to run through a lot of logic in my brain here, and as I talk and think at the same time, ideas come, and it interrupts my train of thought, and then I'm like, okay, I should start back over where this thought is taking me. So, right now, I have 3 variables kind of keeping track of these things. So I'm keeping track of just the basic rotation, whether it's flipped horizontal and whether it's flipped vertical. And I'm wondering if I should just keep track of all of them in this one facing variable. But I don't know, I kind of like what I have in my spawning of the building function here. Because all I do is at the very end, I just... once I find it, yeah, I just check for its rotation and its flipping. And then I don't have to do any other shenanigans. The fact that I'm scaling this is potentially a little bit scary, though. But I don't think there's any other way to do it. Because no matter how much I rotate a L-shaped pipe like this, if I go over here, no matter how much I rotate this, it will never get the same effect as flipping. So, no matter how many times I rotate this, if I will never get this black line being over on this side. That has to be flipped. So I do think that to an extent, flipping has to be its own thing. So yes, I don't think I should necessarily just get rid of the variable that's keeping track of flipping. So I think that's important. And this is my current issue with trying to figure out how to calculate the flip for the direction that the turnpipes are facing, because that is already a little bit more complicated than everything else. But okay, I've kind of talked myself through that. I still think I want to do something like this because I do need to know what direction the building is facing. And for literally every other building I have, since they are symmetrical, I can potentially just pass in one value. Where if instead of calculating its flip, I literally can, for just the ones that are symmetrical, not the turnpipes, those are special, we'll deal with them later, because they are needy and need more attention. So, but for everything else, I think I can just add 180 degrees to this, and I'll know what direction it's facing. I think that's fine. And I don't have to calculate any kind of drawing or anything for this part. This is literally just... I need to know what direction it's facing. So, yes, I do think that I will probably want something like this. And I'm already getting the building facing, huh? So I was already planning on doing this here. I think I do want it in separate functions, though. Do I? Because, let's see, I'm assuming I did not make that method there, and that's or that function there, and that's why it's commented out. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what's happening here. So that's what I was planning to do last time. Oh boy. This would be fine if it was not for my turnpipes. And because of them, I think that it would keep the code a little bit cleaner, because this code is getting a little bit unwieldy for this. So I think it might be better for each building to kind of keep track of their own facing. Yes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like this. We're gonna get the direction that the building goes. Do I need to do that there? Because the point of getting the buildings facing is just to... See, this is what happens when I try to code all the logic live, instead of doing it off-stream and then explaining it. I kind of have to walk through it all, but I think this functionality is simple enough that I don't mind. As long as actually seeing how I walk through all this is interesting, I suppose. Okay. And it'll get a little bit more pausing because I gotta have to collect my thoughts. So the whole point of this, of getting the facing of the building, is simply to get a vector 2 for gives and receives. So I don't actually think I need this. I'm gonna kill it. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to get it for this. I'm just going to calculate the facing. I'm gonna pass it in to the methods that will get the facings, or that will get the gives and receives, and I'm gonna call that good. Yes, I mean, I think I'm gonna call that good. I was planning on putting it into a function. Do I still want to do that? Because I will be calling this multiple times. But at the same time, I'm not convinced it works for the turnpipes. Because the turnpipes need a little bit more logic anyway. The turnpipes, 100%, have to know if they are flipped. Because that completely changes them. For everything else, it doesn't matter, but the turnpipes have to know if they have been flipped. Again, just to demonstrate what I'm talking about there. Turnpipes, they have to know. They have to. Oh, I am at the wrong spot there. I haven't felt like, man, stop it. Okay, I just haven't wanted to set a main room yet, but yeah. So you can see here, if I put in the pipe, I rotate it only, and we get these shapes. But if I flip it horizontally, and then rotate it, we get these shapes. And you can see, they are different. No amount of rotating this shape here will ever get me this. It cannot happen. It is not possible. So turnpipes 100% have to know how they're flipped. The other ones don't. The other ones, I think I can just add 180 degrees to their turning, and it's fine. Completely fine. Yes. Okay, well, let's just start writing some stuff. That's enough thinking. Let's start writing. Okay. I'll just put it somewhere, and if I find myself repeating code all the time, I'll fix it then. It's fine. So let's see here. This code is all run as the building is being built. So that means the current state of the flip and the current state of the rotation corresponds to what is being built here. So it is 100% safe for me to look at the variables that I have set for those. It is totally fine. Okay, so yes, I think I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get building rotation. It will be an integer. And this will return a vector 2. Alright. So there we go. So this will get the gives. This is going to show where the magical power flowing through the pipes is moving towards. And extractors only give. They are selfless, so they only give. They do not receive from anything. They just get directly from the source. So, this is the only one that I need. Okay. So now I just need to calculate if it's going up, down, left, or right. And because of how I'm getting this integer, if this was, say, at 180 degrees with a flip, because I'm going to be getting this direction by adding 180 degrees to the whatever rotation value that I have, so if it's 180 degrees with the flip, then that would be 360. And furthermore, what's the one after that? I don't want to math right now, so I'm going to grab my calculator. 180 plus 90, it's like, what, 270? Yeah, 270. and then I add 180 degrees to that, that would be greater than 360, so I think I need to normalize this value a little bit. Okay, so... yeah, so I just want to make sure that everything is under 360, or negative 360. Is there a difference between 90 and negative 90? Yes, there is. Okay. I'm just thinking about how I can get away with calculating this. Because my first thought was something like, var... I don't know. Var mod equals building rotation divided by 90. But I don't think that quite works. Yeah, I don't think that quite works. So... does it? I'm just trying to figure out what direction it goes, and I can't rely on the value being within 90 degrees. Admittedly, this kind of math is not something I am especially knowledgeable of. It has been an eternity since I've done any work with circles. So let's see. I wonder if there's already stuff out there that tells me how to do this. Let's see. So... can I calculate degrees for numbers greater than 360? I just want to know if there's a good way to do this. Yes, yes, yes. I never took trigonometry, so that's why I just don't quite know. Can you just subtract it? So let me think here. If I had... that's kind of what this thing I'm skimming is suggesting to me. So if I had, I don't know, 360 plus... let's just give it a 90. So that's 450. And then I subtracted 360 from that. Then I would get 90. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think I have a thought on how to do this. So this may not be the most elegant solution, but I think it works. And, you know, maybe I could ask my husband a little bit about the math later if there's a better way to do this. But this will get it working, and that's good enough for me right now. So I think if I have a value, building rotation is greater than... or equal to, yeah, because if it's at 360, I want it to go back to 0. 360. Then, building rotation equals building rotation minus 360. And if it's less than or equal to negative 360, then I want building rotation. Actually, you know what, let's not be silly. I think I can do it like this. Well, Godot accept that. Plus equals 360. So I think that'll do everything that I need to do in order to get a value that is within the 360 degrees, just so that this way things aren't weird, and that I don't have to check for infinite values. So 0 degrees is up, and they should all be in increments of 90. I do not think I will ever have any other value in here. If I do, something has gone terribly wrong. So I think I can just do if building rotation, wielding rotation is 0. We return, gives up. No, we return gives down. Okay. Because if it's pointing upward, it's gives locate the, if I go back over to this, where it gives is at the bottom, always. The top is where it receives, the gives is at the bottom. Because that's just how I constructed the object. So, since these only give, if it's facing upward, then yes, it gives down. Okay. Took me a second to talk through the logic there, but I think this is sound. You'd need a number really, really big for that. No, I think it's literally impossible because I always reset the number back to 0 once it's bigger than 360. Or once it's equal to 360 for that matter. So yeah, I think it's literally impossible for me to get a number where this won't work. If this is not true, then my future self will have a fun bug to deal with. So building rotation is 90. I completely don't trust myself with this. Oh, but I do have to deal with the negatives. Or I don't have to deal with the negative 0, so that should be fine. Equals negative, what's the opposite? What was it, 270? Let me double check that. Yeah, 270. So that should cover the case where it's the same direction, but gotten there from the opposite ends? I think that's correct. So let's see. What direction is that? That's where it turns to the right. So that would mean the top is facing right, so the bottom is facing left. So this should be gives left. And I will double check my logic here. Okay. So now we'll have 180. Or I believe it's just going to be negative 180. And oh, I forgot to tell you to return that. Godot, stop it. Okay. Return. And this is going to be when it's facing down, so that means it'll give up. Which sounds very sad, but there you go. We're going to make it give up. Yes. All right. And so then the last case, do I just do an else block here just to keep my life simple? I don't think I'm going to. I'm gonna make a case for something has gone terribly wrong, and I am just wrong in everything that I am doing. So so building rotation is 270. Or building rotation is at negative 90. And I believe all of these are equivalent. And this should be gives right. Okay. And then I'm going to put an else block there for something has gone terribly wrong. Okay, what do I want to happen if something has gone terribly, terribly wrong? I can't just return null here, right? Because it's expecting a vector 2. Can I? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So something has gone horribly, horribly wrong, and the rotation does not make sense, and what I'm doing is futile. What kind of vector2 should I give it? I don't know, is there a vector2.error or something? No, I don't want to give 0 because that's... Actually, no, 0 is fine, because this is the relative direction. Yeah. So, yeah, sure, I'll give it 0. If something has gone terribly, terribly wrong, that'll just cut off anything... Well, no, actually, I'd probably give it an infinite loop. That would be bad. If I'm remembering how I get the receives from the extractor, because I'm pretty sure I just set it to 0. Yeah. So no, that would actually be bad to do, is just kind of a catch-all for something that has gone terribly, terribly wrong. What should I give it then? I wish I could just, throw an exception or something. I probably can. I wonder if I can. Can I just tell it to blow up? Okay, let's see. Let's see, can I just tell it to blow up? Probably not. That's fine. I mean, you probably can, but... Let's just give it something really big. Just so that this way, I will be very surprised. We'll just send it way out into outer space. And if I see something like this, I know something is terribly, terribly wrong. So that should be fine. Okay. So that's how I'll do this for now. This feels really inelegant, but I'm not quite sure how else to do it, and this should work, so I'll call it good for now. Alright. So, that is correct. So let's get... Because I don't have a building yet, right? No, I do have selected building. So I should be able to get the thing from here. And they'll all be called roughly... Well, no, they're not. I'm giving them specific names. So I'll know which is which. And I could potentially give them all the same name, actually. If I did that, then I wouldn't have to necessarily change things, but... Turnpipes. Yeah, turnpipes complicate things. So you know what? I'm just gonna do it like this. We will give it the... building rotation. I really should not have started all of my variables with building. Such is life. And then from here, I need to know if the flipping is true or false. Okay, no, there is one more. Okay, I'm realizing that my... That my code for determining if it's really big may not work, because if it's flipped vertically and horizontally, I'd add 180 to both of those, in which case subtracting 360 I don't think would actually be sufficient. Maybe I do need its flip state. As always, I try to keep things as simple as possible, which maybe makes me overcomplicate things sometimes. But I'm picturing a situation where we have it maybe at 270, it is flipped horizontally and vertically. So that would be plus 180, plus 180, minus 360. That still gave me 270. Is that right, though? Hold on. I need to think through this. I never properly learned trigonometry, so unfortunately, my ability to deal with circuits. You know, I should probably read up on that a little bit. It probably wouldn't be that hard to figure out. But just due to that right now, I kind of have to brute force my calculations here, so let me think. 180 plus 180. Because, yeah, 270. Yeah, if they're both flipped, that just means it was fully rotated 360 degrees, right? Oops, not that one. I just want to make sure I'm thinking correctly. So I have a pipe. I don't think my flip is working properly for this, unfortunately, so... But we'll see if it's weird. But if I flip it one way and then flip it the other way... Yeah, my flip horizontal is not working for normal pipes. Let me pick a different one where I think it is working a little bit better. Is it working on you? Flip horizontal, flip vertical, flip horizontal. Yeah, unfortunately I just don't know the math. Maybe I should have done this off stream. Let's see. Where's my flip function? Because I'm not changing anything about... I'm gonna give myself a local variable here just so I can see things. So if it's not flipped, I'll go ahead and add building rotation plus equals 180, and then I will print building rotation. Okay. And then from here, yeah, this is all fine. So I'll just put it here and subtract. I want to make sure that the math actually works, because otherwise it'll be a nightmare to debug this because I don't know what I'm doing. So, okay. 180. I'm just looking at this little value over by my cloud here. 360, 180. Okay. So now I'm gonna rotate this. 270, 450, 270, 90. Okay, I don't remember the... I want to double check the sequence of buttons I pushed for that, so let's go back to rotation. Okay. So I'm gonna flip it horizontal. I currently have it at... So this is gonna be 90 degrees. So this should bring it over to 270 if I flip it horizontally. Yes, and that's what it did. And then if I bring it back horizontally, it should go back to 90. Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring it back over to 270. And if I flip it vertically, then it should be... What's 270 plus 180? I'm gonna get the calculator because I don't want to get my numbers crossed. Plus 180, 450. Okay, yes. And if I hit the button again, it should go back to 270. Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring it back up to 450, and I'm going to flip it horizontally, and that should also bring it back down to 270. Yes. And if I hit flip vertical, that should bring it back down to 270 minus 180 is 90, right? So once I hit that, it should still be facing this way. It should still be facing to the right. Correct. Okay. Now I want to think about how this is all flipped, because now I have my value back to the default, which is 90. So if I flip it horizontally, that'll bring it up to 270, and this black line should be on the right side. Correct. Okay, I'm gonna flip it back. Now, if I flip it vertically, its value should come up to 270. Right? And if it's at 270, then that would mean it should be facing the other direction, so I don't think my logic works. Because theoretically, it should be facing the other direction. So no, this does not work. Okay. Oh, well, shoot. I'm not quite sure how to handle the math then. Again, it's just me not understanding trigonometry. Because yeah, I determined that 270 is facing the other direction, which is correct. But if I flip it vertically, it should stay facing the 90 degrees direction. So I don't think I can actually do that, because how it's flipped matters. Terrifying. Okay. The flipping just adds way more complication. So for now, I'm gonna pretend like flipping does not exist and I'm just dealing with rotation. And I will worry about this stuff later. But I think that this is correct if I ignore flipping. So we're just gonna pretend flipping doesn't exist for a little bit. And we'll implement flipping once I'm doing turnpipes. And that way I can just... Oh, I'll probably just take some time to Google proper trigonometry. Yes. Or, you know, just how to deal with circles. Because trigonometry is triangles, right? Anyway. But... this is fine. I believe that this will be just fine. For... anything but turnpipes. Alright, we're gonna pretend like this receives from one direction for now. So I'll just... I guess I'll calculate it. I think I had it ready, right? Yeah, I already have it ready. So what I think I can do is I can take this and go back into the phylactery script. Like I said, the reason that I was considering not doing it like this was because I felt like I was gonna have to repeat a lot of code. But I also kinda like how simple it is to understand, so I'm gonna roll with it right now. So this will be receives up, receives right, receives down, and receives left. Okay. And then, for the normal pipe, I think is that the last one? Let me see. Is that the last one for now? Because, yeah, I have the normal pipe and I have the turnpipe. And a turnpipe is going to be a little bit later, once I maybe try to understand math and flipping. Man, flipping really does make it more complicated. We were talking about, my husband and I, instead of implementing something that flips, to just basically make a duplicate turning pipe that goes the other direction, and switch to that one. I hate to do that, though. If I can figure out how to flip things properly, I think that would be way better. Because I don't have any collisions or any shenanigans like that to deal with. All I have to do is recalculate how the pipes are connected, and I'm doing that via a dictionary, not through anything special. So I feel like I should just be able to flip it just fine. Like for the T-pipes that I'm planning, I did decide to make those splitters and mergers separately. Because I thought that made sense with the kind of structure that we have here. I thought it would actually be more intuitive to the player to know, am I splitting liquid or am I merging liquid? Basically. And I just thought that would make more sense. And I was okay with that, but I just don't feel the same way about pipes that are simply turning. And I'm also hopeful that when it comes time to implement proper drawing, so this way you can draw the pipes without things freaking out, then using the same one will just make things less complicated. I don't know. So I'd like to get flipping working. But let's just start with these normal ones. So the normal pipe will have a gives and receives, which I think I can just steal from these guys. So if I go into the pipe here, this will be normal pipe. And if I go into the phylactery, and this will be the normal pipe. But all the variables and stuff are the same, and I'm pretty sure that its rotation is all correct. I could probably just do this with the rotation, actually. But no, I still feel like the flipping complicates it. But theoretically, you know, maybe I can do it based on the rotation instead of keeping track of this arbitrary number that I just have for drawing. You know what? I want to find out. So, since I know I'm going to be using these, I'll just go ahead and attach them, and that might actually let me simplify my logic a lot, because if I know something is flipped and rotated, you know, I have the scale and the rotation, maybe I don't have to pull as many shenanigans. Let's take a look. Self.rotation and print self.scale.x and print self.scale.y. Okay. No, I think I might be onto something here. Forget math! Let's let the computer do the math for us! Hell yeah! Okay. So... okay, let's get my numbers here. Alright, I suppose it would help if I hooked up the method first. It would help if I called it. Yes, it would. So, let's go down to my normal pipes here. Where the hell are they? See, it's getting big. Selected building dot get normal Oh god, I made these method names too long. Normal pipe receives. And we'll just give it building rotation for now. And gives will be the same one, except gives. Okay. There we go, it is hooked up. Now we run it, and let's see if my thought is correct here. Non-existent function. Get normal pipe. Yeah, because this isn't an actual instance of this. Yes, a selected building is not an actual instance of it. Ooh, unfortunate. I don't really want to have to instantiate something. I guess it's fine if I do, but that seems silly. Can I call the method without instantiating it? Call function on uninstantiated scene. I probably spelled that wrong. Let's see what the internet says here. I guess I could do a quick instantiation there, but that seems silly. Like, it does seem kind of silly. It does seem kind of silly. Let me see. Can I call a function on a packed scene? Can I do that? Is that allowed? I'm not sure if I can. Oh, that's right. It's a class. I also have a class name for it. Can I do it like that? So if instead of selected building, can I say normal pipe? Because I'm pretty sure I made these all classes, right? Yeah. Yeah. That was my thought there, but I forgot that pack scenes are not the same as object there. Okay, so if we go back to grid, if I say normal pipe, non-static function, yeah. Because I don't think I want to make it global. I mean, I guess it's fine to instantiate it earlier. Because I do it down here. It just feels kind of backwards. I'm probably overcomplicating things. I do that a lot. That's why I was doing a lot of my actual building off stream. Because it is a lot of searching and a lot of just trying things. And I don't know if I want to make this just a static function. Hum-de-dum-de-dum. Okay, is it fine if I instantiate it, even if I'm not sure if I'm gonna build? Because part of the way that I was doing this, at least for now, was I had this thing that would check if I could build, and if you were able to get inside of some of these areas, it would be set to true, and that was just to avoid unnecessary things. So, what happens when you instantiate something and don't use it? Okay. So let's see here. Did I notice? Yeah, I think it might be fine. Let me see, can I... Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say, that seems like it could be a problem. So... what does free do versus Q free? No, I'm looking for the function, not whether or not Godot is free. I just want to know the difference between free and Q free. So let's see. Difference between free and Q free. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. What's the difference? So Q free... Okay. I don't know, it just feels silly to instantiate it if I'm going to kill it afterward. But it would make my life easier here. You know, I thought that this would be a relatively simple little bug to fix, but as with all things here, while I'm still somewhat unfamiliar with Godot, it's proving to be a little bit more complicated than I expected. If only because I'm trying to use good practices and I don't necessarily know what they all are. But I could theoretically do something like this. So if we bring this up here. I'll just put it there. And if I don't use it, so I'll just do it like this, building. And if I don't end up using it, so can build ends up being false, then at the bottom here, I can just say else building dot queue_free, and that should theoretically stop it from killing everything as you build more and more things, and that just stacks up in memory. So I guess either it gets built or it gets killed. I think that might be okay. I swear that there must be a better way to do this. I might look into it a little bit more, but let's just go ahead and do it like this for now, just so I can keep writing. I just want to fix on my extractor here. Okay. So now I should safely be able to test this. No. But it's right there. I put it right here. Yeah, it's literally right there. It should be able to get it. Because it's up at the top there. I'm getting it from all of these. Why are you not there? Did I typo? I probably did. Look, letters are hard, okay? Yeah, that's absolutely what happened. Better. There you go. Jerk. Making me fun of my typos. I don't appreciate that. Okay. Anyway. Why's that giving me vectors? I did not expect that. Self.rotation, scale, scale. Okay. So that's what rotation... That's what rotation looks like. I'm once again looking at my debugger down here. My cloud is slightly in the way. I don't know. Here, let me, we come back over here. If I just squish this over a little bit, will that make it a little bit easier to see? I don't feel like I need this much space over here, but... Oh yeah, because the game is still open. Can I get it to load over here instead? Oh no, that's right, because it's all relative here, so let me move this out of the way. There we go, now you can see my numbers a little bit better. Okay. I'm building a game! Hello there, Tabak! But yes, right now I'm just kind of debugging something, and I'm trying to figure out how the editor or how the how rotation is calculated. Okay, so I wouldn't be able to get it here, it looks like. Because these are all the same. And rotation should not be. Yeah, so right now, I guess I can show you what I have so far. Basically, I'm building a little factory game where instead of, the factory just basically vaporizing your resources and turning it into science or whatever, you funnel it into your player character and make them move faster, jump higher, attack better, have more HP, and that kind of thing. And right now I'm implementing building mechanics, so you can draw things, delete things, and all that. But now I'm actually trying to make sure that the pipes are connected to each other. And I thought it would be a relatively straightforward thing, and I was wrong. It's okay, I don't mind being wrong. Well, just because what's kind of tripping me up right now is I'm trying to figure out how things are rotated and whatnot, but I never took any... I never took math that dealt with that. So I don't actually... I know it's possible, I know the rough rules and whatnot, just because I like math, but I don't actually really know entirely how it works, so I'm trying to see if I can get the computer to do it for me. And unfortunately here, it can't tell how things are rotated yet. So I can't quite do it like that from here. There may be ways to handle it still. And right now, my current pain, kind of, nothing quite like this. Everything that I've done in the past has largely been text-based, and a lot of them not more, you know, for role-playing things, so not even code-based, but I've done a fair amount of text-based stuff with code, but it's been a really long time for one, and for two, graphics and collisions are new territory for me. So I picked up Godot so that it could handle most of it for me. So now I'm in the process of kind of figuring it out, how it all works and stuff. So I'll call this my first very large game. First one where I have any real ambitions. As opposed to just dorping around. Okay. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have the rotation then. So I don't think I can quite do it like that. Because yeah, my hope was that it would be somewhat aware of how it was being rotated here, but no. Now that I think about it, it makes sense that it's not. So once again, I still kind of have to calculate it via this number, and I have to figure out how flip would play into that. At the very least, as long as I don't flip things, what I currently have should work. So I need to hook it up to the phylactery still. Let's come over here. We'll go building dot get, what did I call it? That's a good question. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Here we are. Get. No, just one get. Okay. Building rotation. Okay. So this should work for just a basic rotation. So here, I'll wait for the game to come up. But you can see right now I can't move at all. So I'll build my thing. That should, in theory, let me move if I have things calculated right. Okay, so we just build a nice little line of pipes here. I plop my guy in there. And now I should be able to move. Perfect. Okay. Now let's do the case where this should not work. So I plop down my thing here. I'm gonna face it in the totally wrong direction. Is it not coming up? Why is it not coming up? Okay, hold on. Huh. That was weird. I'll give it a sec. There it goes. Okay. Unfortunately, my ability to bring up the game for testing is a little jank. I haven't been able to figure out what's wrong. Okay, so now I have literally everything going the wrong direction. So I should not be able to move. Ooh, but I can. It is broke. How unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, because I can see it's giving me my debug information. Okay, let's do one more case. So this isn't quite working yet. I might have some values hard-coded still. Actually, I should check that first. No, they are not hard-coded. This is fine. I get the gives and receives properly, and I am only setting it within these, right? No, I'm not. Okay. No, I know what's wrong. Okay. So. I forgot to do the math. That's important. So, what this, function is giving me is just the direction that it's facing, more or less. So I need to actually get the grid space. So right now, they are all basically the same, so it doesn't matter which way I target. Okay. So let's see here. So this is the direction that it goes. And I want to add it to location. Or no, I want to add it to get grid coordinates location. This is receives. Actually, I'm pretty sure I add them regardless. And then from there, I need to say receives equals a get grid position receives. Okay. Actually, I might not need to do that, but I think it'll be easier if I do. Because what this is going to give me is the... Basically, if we look at the grid, that first function... I'll wait for the grid to come up here. Gives the cell. So that first function would turn whatever Godot sees this location as. It's probably going to be something in like the 500, 600 range when it's over here. And gives me, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 3. So that just turns it into the grid coordinates, the kind that the humans would see, as opposed to what Godot would see when you see an object here. And then the second one turns it back into Godot coordinates. But I think that's how I'll do it. That's how I've been doing it up into this point. So now I want get grid coordinates location plus equals get grid position or gives. Okay. And then I just do that a few more times. So yes, extractors only give, so I just need to do that here. So this is going to be get grid coordinates location. We add this. And then we get grid position or gives. And that should do it. And phylacteries are greedy. They only receive. So from here, it'll just be get coordinates location. Then we add that to that vector that I just got. Receives is get grid position gives. Okay. So that should hopefully fix that. Now I have hopefully fixed the bug, and they are not all 0, 1, or 1, 0. Okay. Let's do a fail state here, where I just put all the pipes backwards. And do I move? I don't. Excellent. It has worked. Okay. So now I'm gonna delete all these, and I'm gonna do it right. Let's turn them all the right direction now. Oh, why can't I build it? Awkward. Okay. I'll have to check that. Let's see. So there might be something broken in my deletion as well. Does it think there's a building there? Let me see. I need I need to make sure it's getting in here. Source and source array, yeah, that should all be there. Let's just see if it's getting there. I don't care if it prints true or false, but I just want to make sure it's getting there. False, okay, that's fine. It is getting there. Oh, but I was able to rebuild it this time. What the hell? Okay, no, this is all fine. But if I do this... Huh, that's bizarre. What the hell happened then? And then I delete everything. Oh. It thinks it's still there. Why is it deleting an extra thing? Okay, no, that's probably the issue. It thinks it's still there, but for some reason the building is getting it's being deleted when it shouldn't be. What the heck? Where is my delete function? I don't remember where I put it. There it is. Okay. If pipe info has location. For body in... That all seems correct. And then you delete the thing. Let me look at that again. Because I'm not sure what broke here. And why is it showing the Godot window again instead of the game window? See, that's what it's doing. It just loaded the Godot window again. Okay, let me fix that. How awkward. It only happens sometimes, which is weird. Because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing out in my game window. But I don't know why it does that. Okay. Well, anyway. Let's see. So, if I... No, something weird happened there. I definitely saw something weird when I built just now. Yeah, and then a whole bunch went away there. So it seems like if I drag really fast, that's when it bugs out. And I'm holding down the button here, and it's not getting rid of it. Yeah, that one is like immortal. And you can see here, it's getting rid of some extras. And this one is immortal. Ooh. I can only think that it just doesn't like my instantiation at the top here. Okay, how do I make something static? Can I make a static class? Let's see. I don't feel too bad about making this one static, if I'm being honest. Because this is stuff that should never change. And it's just getting some basic information. Okay. Because then I wouldn't have to do this shenanigan. And I wouldn't break things. Because I can only assume that is exactly what broke everything. Is just, moving that instantiation down there. So I'm gonna get rid of that, and I think instead... Yes, I know things are broken. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Can I just do that? Expected funkervar. Okay. So you can't just make the whole class static. I could potentially put it in my auto load. Since this is literally just some basic properties, I don't really mind it being accessible everywhere. Am I actually okay with that? I feel like I should be hesitating more to do this, because very little actually needs this information, I think. It's really only the grid function that'll be in every single room that needs this. I think it's fine. Okay. So if I do that, I'm just saying how this works here. If I need to make it like fully global. I just always really hesitate to make anything fully global. It feels weird. So by Lactory. Can I do that? Okay, I know you guys are gonna barf until I fix it everywhere. So let's see if I can just do that. Because I really don't mind if this gets called various places. Let's see, where's my extractor? Okay, and that's right, normal pipe has 2 functions. There we go, and let's see if I regret my life choices. I might. So this is going to be the extractor, and this is going to be the normal pipe. But no, in this case, I do think I may be worrying about it just a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much. I feel like I should... I don't know. It's just one of those things, and God, why is it doing that? I don't know why Godot hates me today. Come on, man. Don't load another instance of Godot, load the window. Do I need to... Window and title must match. Yes. They should not be capturing the wrong window. Godot is just being so rude to me today, I swear. Okay. Anyway. Oh, now my buttons aren't working. Okay, I must have not been clicked onto it. Okay, that's fair. Okay. So, hopefully, now, I don't make everything explode. Let's see if this, doesn't work correctly. Let us fail successfully now. We good? We good. Okay. So now, oh, no, it still deleted the extra one. Like, look at that, it's deleting 2. Why is it deleting an extra one? I only get it at the 1 location. Why is it giving me 2 locations? Okay, well, I know that this is fine, and I know that the issue is in how I'm deleting things. What the hell happened? This was working fine! I'm internally screaming so hard right now. Alright, let's see. We have rotate... Where is my delete? Here it is. Okay. Okay, so let's just print the location. Okay, I have one thought, too, on what might be happening. I think I want to cursor snap. Because I can only think of... Well, let me go ahead and do that, just so I can see what I'm doing. But, I can only think of what's happening. Is that... if I have the cursor just slightly overlapping, like over here, then it deletes 2. That didn't appear to be happening here, though. Let me recreate the entire thing, then. And then I switch to... this. If we do that... okay, I verify that it doesn't work. Yeah, I got 2. So theoretically, there's still something here. And it got 2. And it got 2, but I'm only getting 1 value. Okay, well let's add a little thing to be a little bit more careful. And... location equals cursor snap. So basically what this is going to do is... it's going to make sure that it's not getting anything extra. So, the issue right now is that it seems to be deleting 2 buildings, and I don't really understand why. So I'm going to make sure it only deletes the one that is on the location here. And there should only be 1 building at that location, because I'm only getting 1 value from this print that I've got here. So it's not like there's extras. So I'll go ahead and try to recreate that weird bug now. So many shenanigans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't move. No, it's still deleting 2. And it's awkward because then you can't build on those invisible tiles. I don't know why it's getting rid of 2. I don't. Here, can you tell me what the body is? And why does it really only seem to happen when I do something like that? Because, like, if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it deletes 1 at a time here. If I... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... okay. Okay. So it's with a rotation. Okay, I have a thought then. Let me turn on my collision. Oh god, I have to, how do I do that? Visible collision shapes, here we are. So, if I look at what happens when it is being rotated. So you see I got my pipe here. And now it has that little blue rectangle on it. That's the collision box I put on it. And if I rotate it, does it go off the grid just a little? Just a little, I guess. Okay. I guess all I can really do is make the collision box just a little bit smaller. I'm a little bit afraid to do that, though, because the way I build it, or the way I handle certain things, is I check for overlappings on the collision box. Like, you can see it even in my delete function here, is First, I check my array and make sure that there is actually something there. That there's a building there to be deleted. And then I check to see if the building is overlapping the preview instance that I have made. Ooh. I'm not sure why this is still deleting more than one thing, and why it only happens at those specific rotations. Let me run it one more time. Oh, wrong scene. Let me see, do I have anything that I can place a little more freely? Okay, so you. It is absolutely the collision box. Okay. I'll just make it a little smaller. I think that'll be fine for now, but this is something I'm gonna really have to pay attention to when it comes time to handle the full version. Actually, you know what? There's one more thing I want to test. No. Come on, OBS, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, man! I don't need a second instance of Godot, I just need the game. Okay. Now then, one more thing I wanted to test here. If I put down a pipe here, and I very deliberately click outside of the collision box there, does it still get deleted? Yes. Okay. So it should be okay. It should be okay. So maybe I don't have to be very particular about it. Okay. I feel a little bit better then. So I'll head into here and I'll just make these collision boxes a little bit smaller. I wish I could just transform them like that, but no, it's okay. We'll just make them a little smaller. And that should keep them within their respective squares. And still let me move things around okay. And delete things and tell when things are overlapping properly. So that's the hope there. And hopefully this is sufficient. So let's see if that fixed the bug there. You know, I'm glad I found this now and not later. So if I place you guys like this, looks like they're all deleted properly. And if I make my backwards pipe chain, just to once again verify that nothing works. And then I start deleting things. All is well. Okay, most excellent. I'm gonna get rid of my visible collision shapes then, and I think we're good. I think that's what the problem was. I still think I'll keep my classes static. I guess I don't need to do that anymore, but I don't really have a problem with it, so I'll just do it like that. And right. Now I can actually get back to that use case that I wanted to check. Before we got off of that code tangent. Alright. So, yeah, let's get the extractor on there. I'm going to put it backwards again. And verify that it doesn't work. I've done this a few times, but I just want to do it again here. So now it doesn't work, right? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to delete everything. And I'm going to do it right this time. And then I switch back to my normal pipes. We get our friend the phylactery, and now it works. How unfortunate. That is why I wanted to test this case. Alright, why doesn't it work? So, if I go through my thing, when I delete a building, I do erase the location. Okay, so if I print pipe info.location. No, not dot location. Location. There we go. This should work. I got a thing there, and it prints. There we go. We get all of the info here. Let me lift this up a little bit. There you go. You see all the info. It's there. Okay, now if I do it like this, it should crash. Or give me null or something. Perfect. Feels weird to say perfect to the game crashing, but that's exactly what I wanted to happen. So it is not there anymore, and you're able to build new buildings. Okay. Next. I'm gonna do the same right here. We're gonna print pipe info location. Right? That's how I'm doing it, right? Pipe info sublocation. Yes. And that should all be correct. Okay. And so now every time I add a building here, it should give me some info. And yep, I got the info. Let's keep getting more. Let's get it working. And there we go. So all is well. So now I'm gonna delete them all. And I'm gonna put in the new ones. And I should still get new info. And I do. It is there. It exists. Okay, I'm getting my normal pipes. All this is good. Okay. I see. I don't have the gives and receives set correctly for this guy here yet. Oh. Okay. Problem solved. God damn it. Okay. If it works now, I will hope. So first, I'm gonna go do the case where it doesn't, and then I'm gonna delete everything. Because that's the case I'm testing right now, so... There we go. It doesn't work, right? Perfect. Now, we go and we turn everything around. And hopefully I get something. No. Pain. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of my debug code just yet. Okay. Pipe info sub location. Yep. Let me make sure that I have all of my other stuff right. So when it's 0, it's facing up, so it should receive up. When I rotate it to the right, so that'll be 90 degrees. It should indeed receive from the right. So yeah, this all looks correct. Okay. And then if we go back to the grid, I believe I am calculating it right now. Let me make sure that I'm actually getting these correct then. Yes, that looks fine. Okay, and I think I'm just going to bring it down to receives. Because this is the info that I'm kind of interested in. So location and gives. There we go. So now I can see if this follows the line of pipes right. Okay. Yep, that's right. $100. $50, let me see, 5, this is gonna be 0, 50, 100. Okay, so this one might be backwards. Because I think that should be bigger, actually. So let's see here. Yeah, okay, so I have a calculation wrong here. So this is right. It should not receive from anywhere. It gives to 50, 450. So let's see. So this would be 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. That is correct. But this is 50, or 0, 50, 100. 150. So it's not getting the X value right there. Okay, let me print the value that I'm getting from my rotation before I get into things. So I'll print building rotation, because this is almost certainly where the issue is. Alright, so let's figure out what's wrong there. I kind of wish I put this thing a little bit higher up. So it's 270. 270 is facing to the left. That seems about right. Okay, and then if I go to the pipes, they should still be 270. Yes. Okay. So what am I saying is for 270? Gives right. That is correct, because 270 is when it's facing to the left, so that means it receives from the left and gives to the right. So gives right is correct. Oh. Okay. I have these values backwards. Okay, so gives down. Yeah, these values are also backwards, because up in Game Design World is a negative number. Okay, so I just dyslexia'd things. Yeah, that sounds like me. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna check the other ones. So up is going to be it facing down. And if it's facing down, or if it's facing up, then it does indeed want to give to the value below it. Ooh, so no, yeah, when it's facing up, it gives to the value below, so no, this is right. I had this one right. So when it's facing upward, it gives below, which is going to be a positive number. So this is right. And if it's facing to the right, if it's facing right, no, I had these values all right. I had them right. I just had it backwards down here. Yeah, because if it's facing to the right, that means it gives to the left. So that was right. And if it's facing to the left, then it's going to give to the right. So yeah, I think I just had the values wrong here. So if it's facing up, it gives down. If it's facing to the right, it gives left. Yeah, if it's facing to the right, then it gives to the left. If it's facing down, then it gives up. And if it's facing left, then it gives right. Can I print building rotation in here? And I think I'd like to do this on my normal pipe too. I'm not going to worry about the phylactery right now. I don't care. So let's see. But no, I don't know. This seems right. I don't think I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to get rid of it there. Because I'm not doing any shenanigans with it right now. I'm not worrying about the flip. So I'll get my lovely little extractor here. It is facing toward the left. So this should be giving right. 270. Okay. So if it's doing 270, I'm indeed gives right. And right. Because it's facing left. I have something backwards. Okay. Never trust me with left and right, guys. Never. Okay. But no, it's facing to the left. And if it's facing to the left, then yes, so that's where I'm getting my wires crossed. Because it is facing that direction. I'm basing it on where it's facing, not where the giving is coming out. So it is facing to the left. So that means that the give comes out the right side, so that I have the coordinates right. But it's still facing to the left, so I needed to return it to how it's facing here. And this is also backwards, because it is facing up here, and it is facing down here. I think that'll be easier to understand in the long run if I can keep it consistent. It is facing up, so it gives down. And it is facing up, so that means I use the up one for based on the direction it's facing, rather than the direction the giving actually comes out. So I think that'll make more sense in the long run. Okay, I'm gonna go make sure I have that right for everything else. Alright. So if it's 0, it is facing up. If it is here, it is facing right. So that's where I got my wires crossed. It is down. It is facing down. And it is facing left. And I assume I have it here, right? Up. It is facing right. It is facing down. It is facing left. So there we go. That's where I got the wires crossed. Perfect. I can forgive myself for that. Okay, let me get rid of my debug code here, because I think I got it. And let me make sure the phylactery is doing it. It's up, right, down, left. Perfect. So I think that was what the problem was. I just got wires crossed because I think backwards sometimes. It happens all the time and I hate it. Okay, I'll still do the incorrect use case first, because I want to make sure that I can delete things and rebuild it and still have it work. So this should fail. Excellent. Now let's let it succeed. Oh man, really? Okay. Well, I have my debug values. I wasn't looking at them though. So they're all in a straight line, that's right. Okay, I'm gonna run this again. You guys can watch the debugger, that's the important part here. Okay. 150. This is 0, 50, 100, 150. Correct. Then 100 or 50. That should definitely not... Oh no, it receives from 100. 0, 50, 100. 150, 200. Okay, 0, 50, 100, 150. That is right. 200, 250. Receives from 200. Correct. Right? 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Yes. This could be 250 and it gives to 200. Okay. Yep. Yep. And you are just not calculating right. Okay. Let us go find what is wrong with our friend the phylactery. Okay, get grid. Get grid position. Why is it giving me 0, 0? Gives should be 0, but receive should not be. Why is this giving me 0, 0? Because it let me build it. Okay, and so if it gets through this, it gets here. It would not be able to build it if it did not get to here, so I should be getting there. And actually, that's right, there was a... I wanted to change name into... God, do I want to name a building name? I already have too many things starting with building. I do it like this. Okay, show me where this breaks. I just want... What? Oh, right, of course, because name exists in scope. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll just have to go through and find them all. I just want to get rid of that error. It's bothering me, okay? Yay. Okay, I think that's everywhere I use it. So... Just gonna run this real quick to see if that gets rid of the error. It does. I'm satisfied. Okay. I have fixed a thing. I can call myself successful today. Anyway. Let's see. So why is this breaking? The phylactery dot... Did I spell it wrong? No, if I spelled it wrong... Okay, building rotation. If it's up, that'll be above it. If it is facing to the right, it will receive from the right. Yes, it'll receive from the right. Yep. If it's down, it'll receive below it. And if it's left, it'll receive to the left. So this all looks good to me. Okay. So we get the grid coordinates. I think that's how I do it literally everywhere else. Yep, we get grid coordinates, location. Get grid position, receives. So why are you breaking? Okay, let's just print it, and I'll see why it hates me. I see. I got 3 values there. 300, 400. But when I print down here... Okay, no, that seems okay. 300, 400. 300, 400. Okay. And gives is right. Gives is 0. This looks okay. Let me try it again. Okay, so... we plop that there. And I get my normal pipe. And then here. 250, 450. Can I move? And now I can move. Why did it break before? Man, what the hell? Okay, well, I don't know, everything's looking okay, so... I'll do my case here and see if it breaks. I don't know what was happening, though. Okay, doesn't work. That's good. I'll switch back to this, and then my other pipes. And then back to our red square friend. And it doesn't work. 300. Yeah, that seems right. So this is 50, or no, 0, 50, 100. 150, 200, 250, 300. That is indeed where it receives from, so this should be correct. Okay, let me go look where I'm constructing the pipe path. Because, I mean, you saw there, when I did it right the first time, it worked, right? I'm not crazy, right? Okay, so we got it up. Now... Yep, and I can go. If I delete it and put it back. And now okay, well, I probably didn't reset, huh? Name is extractor. Okay, yeah, and to be fair, once you go into negative amounts, I don't actually reset it. I should do that, actually. Okay, yeah, I should do that first. Okay, so let's reset energy. Okay, well, I hesitate to do that because that would break everything every time you put down a pipe. We'll do it for now. We'll do it for now. Just for testing's sake, and I can figure out the best time to call this function later. Let's just get things working. Like I said, I did not expect these things to be this complicated, but here we are. Okay. So we'll just make it work. Making a chain of pipes because it makes me happy. So I should still be able to go until I put down another building. And so now I shouldn't be able to move anymore. I still can. Okay, so there's more problems than I expected. I might just have to do some of this off stream. I don't know, I kind of don't mind debugging on stream here, but... Because I recalculate the factory. Let me see, how do I set this here? Let me go back to my global script. And now amount here is going to be 0 because I passed in 0. Right? No, because, okay. Yeah, I need to... Okay. No, I understand. I understand. Let me get back to my thing and I'll explain it. So, instead of doing it like this, what I need to do, I think it actually makes more sense to reset these. I might need to do this too, but for now... And then we have air amount and earth. Okay. So we reset the numbers, and then if it is able to build another path, it should be true, and regardless, I reset numbers, so I think this should be fine. You know, this is something I'd need to do at some point anyway, so this works for me. So here, and then... there, so it works. I delete everything. We go here. And then I get my normal... And then I shouldn't be able to move anymore. Okay. Good. And then I get my pipes, and I rebuild it. And now I can. Okay. I'm probably gonna need to do some of this stuff for deleting things too. I'll worry about that a little bit later. I think I'm fine with this for now. I will absolutely have to fix that though. Let's see. So with all that, is that mysterious thing that was making it so when I put down a wrong path and then deleted it and swapped to a right path. Oh god, I have an immortal building again. Am I gonna be able to build on that? Okay. It was apparently not actually there. Just the sprite didn't get deleted for some reason. How awkward. I'm not gonna try to fix that right now. Okay, but that one is there. Now I can't build there. That's really bad. So there was like a bit of lag and... there was like a bit of lag and I had an immortal building that probably wasn't actually there, just the sprite didn't get deleted. And then a pipe that was not there but was. So this didn't get properly deleted. Maybe I want to do this first then. Because I actually think it's more important that the game doesn't think there's anything there than the player, so... And, okay. Let's hope we don't run into any shenanigans this time. I'll make some of this more robust at some point. But I think I need a better understanding of what's happening, and that's just going to require a bunch of reading. Okay, so that still didn't work. But all the locations are right. So... yeah, and now this is immortal again. So no, there's something really bad happening. Are extractors, like, not in buildings or something? They should be. Okay, they're not. Oh no, that's the collision shape. The extractor itself is. So all of these are in buildings, right? Yeah, I see they're in a group. And you're in a group. And you're in the group. You are not in the group, and that is correct. Okay. At the very least, I think the pipes are working. There's just something really weird happening in my delete. Like, what is happening there? I want to look at this one more time. I'm not even sure how to go about trying to figure out what's wrong there. So we got that. I delete it. Okay, no problems. And I'll try different rotations. Still no problems. Okay, let me try attaching some pipes to it. These should basically not communicate with each other at all. Okay, no problem. I'm just gonna muck around with this and see if I can reproduce it at all. Okay, so I didn't get it there. It's not immortal, though. But when I delete it and put it back, it doesn't get set. Let me see. So rather than printing this, I feel like my logic there is pretty solid for the time being. So I want to print here. Actually, no, probably down here where I had it before. Print, source type. So we'll print it there. And I am just going to click around and try to break this as much as I can. And here it's not printing anything, which I guess it just doesn't print null, which I am fine with. Okay, or I guess it does, it just makes it blank. That's okay. But it's still getting it there. But for whatever reason, when I delete something and reconstruct the path, it doesn't always work. So I should get a water there. I should get a water here. So now it doesn't work. But I should still get a water there from the function that is making the pipe path. So why did that not finish a pipe path? If I build something else, does it finish the pipe path? No. Okay, so it is setting the source correctly. There's just, something. Man, there seems to be a lot of things, and I'm not quite sure what's up with it. Okay. So here we go, we're starting the pipe path here. And that means that if I'm not getting it to here, then it's not being able to build the pipe path. And thus it is not... How do I use a weight? I'm wondering if it's just not loaded yet. And that's why... And that's why when I try to recalculate the factory, it's not working. Let me see. So it's, await completion. I don't know. How do I do that exactly? Okay, so maybe I should just wait until it's there. So, await... Is this how it works? So I wait for that to finish. And then... I put in the thing that I want to call? Is that the... No. That is not how this works. Okay. I just don't know the syntax for it. So wait until... Child is in tree. Until child ready. Yes, that is what I need. That is what I need here. So, I don't know. Okay. It also suggests potentially using a signal. I guess I could do that. So let's see here. If child node ready. Alright, so... I'm not quite sure how I'd do that here, because... I'm not sure how to do some of this... programmatically. That might just be... I mean, I can look it up. Let's see. But that's all I can assume is happening, because all my values seem to be correct. It just seems to not... When I loop through this, I recalculate the factory, it goes through, and it looks for the extractors. And then I call this. So after it finds this, I call this function. And then it comes here, and once it finishes going through this loop, then it sets it to true. Let me just make sure I'm reaching here. And it only seems to happen sometimes, which is the worst. So I'm just wondering. So yeah, it's getting there. And now it works. And I delete it. Yeah, it's gonna be like that until I build something. That's why I say I needed my delete function. But now I've built something, so now I can't move anymore. Okay. It's still getting there. It gets there. But it doesn't find this. Okay. So now I know I get there. Alright, let me put in print check. So this is going to be the value that it's checking. Okay. Yeah, and as it starts looping, it gets through. And it never finds the phylactery, which is correct. So I'll delete all of those now. And we'll rebuild the same structure. Does it break after a certain number of pipes or something? 2, 3. Okay. I'll try 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can't move. Of course. I understand. Okay. Okay. I have figured it out. So, when I have a chain of normal pipes, I'm checking for the name. And when I have a long chain of normal pipes, previous becomes equal to current. Because, well, no, it shouldn't. Because I'm checking previous. And I'm checking current. Current is just the name of the pipe. So as expected, we never see the name phylactery in there, because when that happens, it just exits the loop. And it never gets to print this here again. Okay. So let me check. Up here, previous. And current. Because this is what it's actually checking, and all this is the location of the pipe. That's the location of the pipe is what I use in my dictionary in order to keep track of each pipe. I use its location because only one thing can exist at any given location. So it makes for a very convenient key. All right. All right, let's keep going. Okay, that's all good. Unfortunately, this is a lot of information here. Can I just print the key? Is that how you do it? How do I print the key? I think I still have the documentation open for it. So let's see. How do I print the key? Okay, let's just find it. Godot, print, dictionary, key. I just want the one key. I just want to print it. I don't want to build an array. I just want to print the key. That is it. Okay. Da, da, da. I didn't think it would be this hard to find. It's just... Well, this is maybe a little bit too more information than I want. I just want something easy to get in there. I don't know. Can I do that? Oh no, I definitely don't want to do it there. Yeah, I guess I really can't. Okay, well, I'll deal with all the text. I'll just have to compare. Because let's see, all I really care about... Let's see, I wish I could just get its location. I guess that's, this, here. But unfortunately, that would mean I'd have to put it in here, and I'd like to check it up here if I can. I don't know. Can I do it like this? Can I do it like that? Or does this explode? That explodes. Okay. Yeah, of course, because it's null at first. Okay. Can't get away with that. So we'll just do it the hard way. I'll just have to analyze the data. It's fine. I can put a little bit of thought into that, so let's see here. I'm not sure why I'm getting... Oh no, yes I do. I understand. Okay. Alright. I need to label this. Because otherwise, I'm not going to understand a thing. There's too much data. Okay, so let's print that out. Okay. There we go. Now I can kind of see what's going on. So there we go. We just have the extractor. And then it loops again. I set previous equal to current of the previous one. And now they're equal, so it stops. Okay. And then we start with a null. And then it goes through until I get it all. Yep, and now we're getting normal pipes. But the gives and receives should all be different, so this should not be equal. And so now this is the chain that works. And if I delete it, add the extractor back, this all seems okay. Let's start giving it a few normal pipes. So it gives... Let's see, so previous and current. You know what? I need to keep track of number of loops. Okay. This is just for debugging, but I am gonna get lost. So loop number plus equals 1. Loop number. There we go. This should let me be able to read this a little bit better. Because, oh man, that's just a block. It is a little bit nonsense. Okay. No, I don't want you to be full screen. Please stop trying to help me, Windows. Okay. So, loop 1, previous is null, current is that. Loop 2, and now they're the same. Yes. Okay. So, loop 1. Yep. And now we're getting into loop 3. So that's kind of what I'd expect. The fact that this is still only looping 3 times I think is concerning, but... Okay, it does seem to be something with the length of the pipes. Because that time it didn't even work on my first attempt. And I see that it's only getting to loop 3 no matter how big it is. Which is definitely not right. So name extractor. But it's weird because they should all have different X and Y locations too. So why don't they? So X, Y, you are 0, 50, yeah, the Y should all be 450, 0, 50, 100, 200, or 150, 200. Okay. Stretch. Okay, but no, this feels very weird. Okay, so let's see. And you know what? I'm gonna do a bit more printing so this way I can see where everything ends. Previous is equal to current, print a big wall of lines, so I know where it failed. Okay. Let's try that again now. It did not get to my big wall of lines. Why not? It definitely should have. Why am I not getting a big wall of lines? Okay, well, I'll try another one. That is very mysterious. Wait, if it's not getting to that code, then... Oh, because I put it above the return, or below the return, of course. Okay. I was gonna say, if it's not getting to that line of code, then, the loop should be infinite. So... Okay, there's my big wall of line. Perfect. So now I can tell where the thing ends. Okay. And I can see where the next loop starts. So we have the previous null, the current this thing, and then previous becomes this thing, which is the extractor. And yes, it's just going through all of the objects. Let me look at the actual code again. So what's happening is I'm checking build pipe path item. So basically, I'm looking at the extractor. Yep, I'm finding its location. And once I have the location, I'm going to build the pipe path. I'm setting this variable that I'm calling current, the thing I'm currently looking at, to the extractor I found. There's nothing previous. This is just for escaping the loop. I want to check to see if the name is the phylactery, and if it is, that's where it stops. And then here is just what gives. Oh yeah, you guys can't see anything. Let me minimize this fully. There we go. Oh, that still doesn't do it, huh? Fascinating. Okay, I'll close it then. So, yeah, just walking through that again. Up here, I get the name, I get the extractor. I'm just looping through every single thing in my pipe dictionary. If I see that it has the name of extractor, we call build pipe path. Build pipe path. It sets the pipe info. It sets current to the extractor that I found. That's what a pipe info sub item is. Sets previous, since there is no previous to null. There's nothing there yet. That's just there to help us escape the loop. So then this is what I want to check for, and this is I want to check the name of the pipe that I'm looking at against phylactery. If it's phylactery, we escape the loop. And if it's not, then I want to look at to see what square that pipe gives to, and then I can find the one that receives that. Okay. So, now we go through. It's not phylactery. So, now I'm setting all my current print variables just so I can check things. And I check to see if the one that I looked at previously and the one that I'm looking at currently is the same, because that should tell me when I've gotten to the end of the dictionary and there's nothing left to iterate through, so that this way I can escape this loop. And that does seem to be working. And if it is not currently that, I set previous equal to current, and then I start looping through all the pipes again, and I look for a pipe that has the... Where do I... Yeah, okay, so I set next in here. And so I look for a pipe. Where do I set next? That might be the issue. Anyway, but I go through and I look for a pipe that has the same gives as the previous one. But okay, I need to figure out where I set this. So... But the extractor does find... Or the next... if I look at my loop here, it does still find the next one. Okay, because I set it up here. Yes. Yes, so that's where I set next. So it's getting the gives from the initial extractor that I provided this function. So it checks to see what tile the extractor gives to. And if it's able to find a pipe that receives in the tile that it gives to, then it'll change all these things and it'll continue building the chain. And if it doesn't, then it won't get to this block of code. It'll just loop through the pipes. It finds nothing. So it'll go back to the top of the while loop. And then previous will be equal to current, and it'll escape. Because we don't find a path. And then, eventually, if we find a pipe called phylactery, it'll come up here into the here and realize, hey, I am a phylactery, I should escape this loop now. And it'll return true. I'm assuming that's how loops work here, right? Like, is it the kind of thing where it'll run through this one more time? And thus return false? But then it would never work. Well, let's find out. Well, we'll see what's happening. Okay, so... here. I think this is doing what I expect. So current, we have the extractor at 100, 450. And then on the second loop, we have a match. Okay. So, and on the next click where I put in the pipe, we have loop 1. Previous is null, current is the extractor. And then on the second loop, yeah, that seems right. Okay. So now on the next one, we start with the extractor. And then we loop through the list again. It's getting the extractor first because, you know, of course it is. I feel like this one might have needed to get a normal pipe, but I don't think it includes itself while it's looping through it, so... Oh no, it has to, doesn't it? So why didn't we get a normal pipe here? I'm gonna look at my code real quick. I know you guys can't see it, but I don't want to close the window just yet. Let me just take a look at what's happening here. Okay, if previous is equal to current. I do have previous and current here. For pipe. Receives is next. Yeah, because it doesn't find anything there. Okay, no, this is fine. Let me see if I can explain it. So, what's happening? But I think this is correct. So I have a little block in my code that says that it's looking for a receives that equals to the give of the previous one. And then it'll change current and all those things. So, because if we look at my picture here, we see that the second pipe that I placed, it's receive. We're just pretending this one doesn't exist yet, and I haven't put this one down. So its gives is going to be here, and it doesn't find a pipe there because there's nothing there in our pretend world where I didn't put down this pipe yet. So it never updates the current and the receive, so it just ends up being the extractor still. So I think this is all correct. That was explained really shoddily. Let me try to make that more clear. It'll be good for me to actually be able to explain what I'm doing here. So, we have... It is looking for... I'm just going to delete this to make it easy to understand. So we have the pipe here. It gives to this tile. There's nothing on this tile. So nothing in the pipe dictionary has a receives that is equal to this one's give. So when it loops through, the whole dictionary, it'll just be set to the first one, the initial extractor that was given to me in this. So that will be just the extractor. And you can see that even with just one pipe, it never reaches the text there, so it never updates current. So we are still just stuck with the initial extractor, so I think that this is still correct. Anyway, so now I'll add it in. Okay. So now I'll look through the data here, so I'm gonna do one more just to make me happy. And we'll do it from there. So previous, null. Current, extractor. Okay, yep, so that'll get the first one. And then here, we'll have an extractor and a normal pipe that we're looking through, so that's probably this one. This does not seem right, though. It should have looped more than that, right? 1, 2, 3. No, that might be okay. But this one should have definitely looped more than 3 times. Because no matter what, it never seems to loop quite enough times. Why does it only loop a maximal of 3, no matter how many things I put in? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. So it was the only reason that I could get it to work was because I always tried with the short pipe path. So if I make a long pipe path, no, that works. But there doesn't. Why not? Why not? The factory must grow, yes. Currently, we're just trying to get it to work. But it's alright, we're getting there. Right now, I'm just encountering a somewhat mysterious bug that I have been having a hard time tracking down why it's not working. And it's very mysterious. There seems to be something weird in my deletion code. That's all I can think of that it is. I wonder if I fix it, if I just recalculate the factory right away. Well, let's find out. No, that's rotate, not delete. Where are you? There it is. Can't- you know what? No, I haven't yet. I have tried asking it politely, but I have not tried seducing it. I would rather avoid that if possible. I'm married, so it's awkward to try to seduce things that are not my husband. Okay, so recalculate factory. Let's see if that fixes things. Oh man. But then I'd have to have a male on stream, and that's awkward. Okay, let's build out a little path here. Put in my ending. Okay, so does that work? No, that time it didn't work. Does it work now? Does it work now? This is my issue! The bug feels very random! Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know why it doesn't. Because there's been times. There has been times when I plop it down and it's fine, and then there's times where it just doesn't. And there's been times I have tried long paths and short paths, and sometimes the long paths work and sometimes they don't. And sometimes the short paths work and sometimes they don't. And I don't quite understand what's happening. So I've been trying to put a bunch of debug code here, but it's not helping. Such is the curse of coding. I was really hoping that I would be able to figure out what's wrong before I had to leave, but... My god! I got nothing! I don't know what's wrong! Yeah, I mean... It's okay, you know what? I've been trying to explain everything to whoever might be lurking. I'll try to just run through it again. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way to the top here. So here's what we do. We make a building. We're gonna spawn the building. I make sure that there's no building on that tile currently. So if there's a building on that tile, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. And then I keep tracking whether or not it's possible to build something, because there are some buildings that have special circumstances. And then I start putting together everything that's necessary for the pipe dictionary, the thing that puts all the properties of the pipe in there, like its location and what direction it's facing and various things like that. Okay, so if I'm just building a normal pipe, you can always build normal pipes as long as there's nothing already there. So it's fine. So you just get the pipe information from that. Turnpipes we're pretending don't exist right now, so don't worry about it. The extractor can only be built on sources of power, and those are the ugly blue and green icon. I think the green icon is behind my head when I have the game up right now, so you can only see the blue one, but there we go. So I check to make sure that it is only being built on top of the source, and you can't build it anywhere else. And if you can do that, then you can build it, and I get all the properties I need there. And then we have the phylactery. That's going to be where you're trying to funnel all the power into, because you are a lich and you want all the magic power in your phylactery to make you strong. And you can only have one of those on screen at a time. And so if there's not one there, then you can build it. And if there is, you can't build it. So then I make sure and see if you can build the thing. And if you can, we get all the info there, and if you can't, we do nothing. Nothing at all. And so we build the thing, and this is all the things I need to build the thing, regardless of what it is. And then after that, we go and calculate what the factory is doing and how much power you are funneling into your phylactery. And so that's all the way down here. And for now, I'm just resetting the energy. I'm gonna have to think about how I want to handle that later. But it's fine for now. And then we go through the pipe dictionary with all of the pipes, and we find the one named extractor. Theoretically, if there's more than one extractor, we should get them all, but I'm gonna worry about that later. Right now, I just want to figure out what's going on here, where I only have one. So anyway, we get the extractor. And then I see if we can build a pipe path. So that's this function here. We build a pipe path, and I just get the location that the extractor is at. That's what this is. This is where our extractor is. And in the dictionary, I track what each item is by where it is, since theoretically you can only have one item on each square. So if I know your location, I know what you are. It's just like real life. If I can find you, I know who you are. Anyway, so I set the current pipe that I'm looking at. Probably not a rounding error. That seems incredibly unlikely. But, you know, sometimes it works if it's long, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works if it's short, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I don't get it. But no, it's highly unlikely to me that it's a rounding error. I do math. Stop some of this. Basically, you could say I round it first. So, it should be fine. Anyway, so here I am setting the pipe to the extractor that I found. That's what this guy is. I am passing the extractor that I found, and I am setting it here. And so here is the previous one I'm looking at in this loop that's coming up. At the start, it's nothing, because there is no previous. And then I want to check the pipe's name, because I give them all names. And then I want to see what is going to be the next one in the chain, and that is what this pipe gives its energy to. So I check gives, and this is debug code for checking some stuff. So, while the name is not phylactery, because if I can find the phylactery, I know my chain is complete. And so while it's not that, we're gonna loop through this. First, I make sure that previous and current are the same, so this way we have a way to escape the loop. If previous and current are the same, so that meant that when I go set previous to current here, it means that I have looped through every single pipe I have, and it never got updated here, so I never found a pipe that receives what this pipe gives. I never found it. And so that means I have looped through everything, and I just didn't find it, so there's no existing pipe path. So we get kicked out. And otherwise, if I do find the next pipe in the chain, then I set check to its name. I pick out what this pipe gives to, so this way I can see if there's a pipe later that receives from that tile. And then I update the current pipe that I'm looking at. And in theory, once it finds a phylactery, we escape the loop here, and we return true. And that's basically what's happening. It's a little convoluted, but I can already tell that there are some things that are very, very wrong. Very wrong. Let me run this again, and you can too look at my debug information and see my melancholy. So let's see here. So you can see I get a bunch of information. Some of it's covered by the chat, it's fine. But, yeah, this bit all looks fine to me. And I can, we build maybe a few lovely pipes here, and this all still looks okay. And I can put in the red dot that is supposed to represent the phylactery. And there it goes. And it's not working, and I don't know why. I only wonder if there's something wrong with the rotation, so you know what? I'm gonna add another thing onto this. So this way I know which way is down. I probably should have done that at the start, honestly. Anyway, so let's figure out which way is down here. I'm just gonna add a black line to the bottom like I have for everything else. Okay, so now I know which way is down. Let's make sure it's not some silly rotation thing. If that's what it is, I'm gonna cry. Because I have spent like an hour trying to debug this. Okay, so that one's fine. Let's make a long one just for fun. And this one is broken. Oh, hello there! Hello there, Eris Ezra, and hello, Raiders! Right now, I am debugging a mysterious problem. And I am dying. Welcome in! I am Planckera, and I just like to make some stuff. So sometimes it's coding, sometimes it's drawing, and right now, I have a bug I don't understand. And it's very weird, and I don't know why this is happening. So, I will try to explain it a little bit. The game I'm developing, we are calling it a factory Metroidvania, where you build a factory to affect your stats, like your movement speed, your jump height, your attack, and your health, so that this way you can run really fast, jump really high, and run through lava if you build a strong enough factory. And that's the basic gist of this. So right now, I'm trying to get the factory working. Do not mind the scuffed placeholders. I like making things as ugly as possible, so that this way I will be excited to finish the game. And what is happening with this weird, mysterious bug is... we have these sources of power here. We have the blue one here, and there's a green one behind my head. And you put a thing on it in order to pull it out of the ground. And then you can build pipes in order to move it around your factory. And then eventually you want to put it into your phylactery because you are a lich, and you are trying to extract as much energy from the surroundings as humanly possible, or lichly possible, as the case may be. And there we go. And when it works, you can now start running. It's beautiful. And... but the problem is... and you see, when I break it, you can no longer move because you have no movement speed power. The trouble is that sometimes, in a way that I have not been able to understand, it just randomly doesn't work. Like, there you go. It should work here, and it doesn't. And I am dying. And I don't know why this is happening. It does not seem to have any correlation with overlapping with the player or anything. I can just lop him off the cliff there if I want to, and yeah, it still doesn't work, but I like to keep him on screen, so this way I know if it's working or not. It's the easiest way to tell, where I try to move, and if it works, it's working, and if it doesn't move, it's not working. So let me reset the game there, because I can't retrieve the player here. Anyway, just for some extra information here, but yes, it is a sometimes bug, which are the absolute worst. I am working in Godot, and while I have, yes. And I'm working in Godot, and while I have coded games before, I haven't worked with graphics very often. The games I've really done with were mostly text, and I have never really coded in Godot, so I'm fairly new to Godot. I did some practice stuff. I remade Pong, for example, just to make sure I was kind of up for it and understood how things are working. And so I'm fairly new to the intricacies of Godot. But I did software development for a living for a few years, and quality assurance and automated testing and that kind of thing for several years before that. So I know how to code, it's just I don't know Godot. So there are knowledge gaps and shenanigans afoot. So we shall see what I can figure out here. So right now, yeah, you guys can see it. I have a bunch of debug code going down here as I try to, if I close this so you guys can actually see the code, as I try to figure out what the hell is going on here. So... so I am somewhat internally and externally screaming here, and I'm just trying to figure out the loop. So I guess, for those of you somewhat familiar with coding, and for those of you that are not, what I'm doing here is I am just printing what loop this is, so this way I know I can actually read my debug code, and then I'm looking at the previous object that was being looked at in this loop, and the current one that is being looked at in this loop. And there we go. And so I'm just checking this loop and making sure that it is finding all the factory pieces, and if it's not, maybe I'll be able to figure out why, and so far I have not been very successful in that. So I'm trying to figure out where to build from here. So I have all of that kind of detected, but if we go in and look at what is actually happening here, the first bit looks okay. It's all good. But you notice, as I start adding more and more pipes, it never loops beyond 3 times, which does not seem very right. It should probably be looping more than 3 times when I have this many pipes. So that gives me maybe the slightest hint of what's wrong here, where, for whatever reason, previous and current are matching sooner than they should. I still don't know why, but it's a step in the right direction. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. So you can see all the information that I get on my various pipes. I know their locations, their various rotations, and all of those things, and where the next pipe of the chain should be, and all those kinds of things. So these two help me find the next pipe in the chain, and these are not relevant to most pipes. So that is what I'm trying to figure out for the moment. And what's really strange is that the bug only happens sometimes, but even when it works, it still never loops beyond 3, and that does not seem right. So there we go. That's what I'm trying to figure out. In many, many words. So thank you for rating. I could use the morals. Okay. Anyway, let me remember where I was leaving off here. So I was trying to figure out some things here. So every time it goes up there, it should come down, so the loop should always increment. Yes. Thank you. I need the luck right now. Because, yeah, my goal for today, I was like, oh yeah, it should be simple. I'll just make it so you can actually properly connect the pipes, and it'll be fine. Because I had it basically working. I just wasn't taking into account rotation and all those things. But I have thoroughly checked that, the things that check for the chain, the values in there are all right. I have thoroughly checked them, and I even found a couple of problems, and I fixed them. And everything seems to be okay. Everything is working about how I expect. But now, these guys seem to be equaling each other sooner than I would expect. Maybe for loops just don't work the way I think they do. Let me add another print here. Pipe, info, sub, pipe. Okay, show me what you're looking at here. So basically what happens? If I go all the way up to where they're created, I have a lovely dictionary of pipes. Yeah, I have a lovely dictionary of pipes, and we are adding a thing here, and if there's nothing on the tile, so you can see, you know, it's a grid, and if there's nothing on a particular tile, you can put a pipe there. I need to actually have this open. There we go. You can put a pipe there. See? It's wonderful. But if there is something on that location, let me try to put a different building there. We'll try to put an L pipe. You can't. So, there you go. That's the basic. I hope I will be sleeping at 4 a.m. tonight. Because I have to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow to get my kid to school, so... But it's okay. I'm sure I'll figure it out, and if I don't figure it out today, I'll probably just do it off stream, but that's okay. Or, you know, maybe I'll stream again tomorrow, who knows? But let's see here. Yeah, so if there's no pipe, we build it, and then it goes through a bunch of steps. And then we make another dictionary within the dictionary because you gotta have proper dictionaryception. And this is where all of it is set. All the pipe info is set. So all I'm doing is looking through a dictionary of pipes, and I am just checking to make sure that I loop through the pipe dictionary the way I expect. So let's do that now. Okay. So let's get my friend the extractor here. Okay. You know what? I need a label for you. Otherwise I'm never gonna understand what's going on here. I'll call you Loopy Pipe. Okay. It's a good name as any. It's not what I'm using yet. Okay, so where's my Loopy Pipe? Okay. Yep, so there's the Loopy Pipe. And it does not get to where I set current, so that does indeed make previous equal to current, and that is doing it right. So let's get a pipe. Okay, so what is my Loopy Pipe? Okay, my Loopy Pipe is a normal pipe. So no, it is doing exactly what I expect. 100, 450, I think this is 0, 50, 100, 150. So receives will be 100, gives will be 200, that is correct. That is what I would expect. And current is the initial extractor I find, which is indeed this guy. And it's not going to find a pipe that has this value as its receives. So that means it'll not set current equal to itself, and thus it won't get a new value there, and thus it'll equal to previous, and that is correct. We're good. Okay. So now I should have two loopy pipes. Alright. So the first one is that extractor. And it will find... Yeah, it will find one that has its receives the same as this one's gives. Yep. It takes a couple of tries, but you see it does find it. So this one's give is that, and then this one does not have that as the receive, so it loops again, and then we get this as the receives, which is equal to this one's give. So we change the information, it goes back to the top of the loop, and then it does it all again, and this time it does not find the next receives, so it stops. We're good. It's all good. Okay, now this is the one I'm curious about. Okay. So, it's a lot of data to go through, but here we go. Loop 1. We have the extractor. It's looking for this. And it... Let's see, so it's not there because yes itself doesn't have it. And it doesn't find it here, but it does find it here. So then it should stop. Okay, so no, it still loops, but it should still find one. Okay, so maybe loops don't work quite the same with the way I expected. Because before looping, I would have expected it to get in here. Okay, but I don't check to see if it's in there. Okay, so no, it's probably doing it right. If I'm not sure, I'll add another print statement in there just to make sure it's getting there. Okay. But this still seems right. So let's see. Let's see. So now we have the next loop. And the previous is that extractor we found. The current is that normal pipe. Yeah, that was up here. The receives that we found. So that is correct. And you can see it is here. And so now this one is looking for this value somewhere. So now I can check all the loopy pipes. And we wanted to have a receives of this value. So the extractors will obviously not. And then we keep going through. And it doesn't find one? Let me see. So which one is this? This is the one at 200. So 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. So this is this one. It should find a pipe that it gives to. But I don't see one that receives 250 here. Why not? It seems to have found one, though. No, it did not find it. Why not? Why didn't it find you? Oh no, wait, is that it? Yeah, so this one gives here. Yeah, this is the same. This is itself. So I think this was supposed to be the one that was supposed to have the receives. Okay. So something not being set correctly up here. Let me check that. Okay, so before I recalculate factory, let's print what do I want to call this? Gives location. Gives print receives location. Print receives. Okay. We'll run it again. Look, I'm gonna track this thing down if it's the last thing I do, damn it. This is the core of the game. I have to figure it out. Okay, so I don't care about these right now. These are all fine. I'm just gonna make a little string of pipes here. Okay. So I got the 3 string of pipe. So before we get into thing, gives location. So this is the pipe I just built on the end here. So this guy, and he is at 300. 0, 50, 100. 150, 200. 250. So yes, it gives to 300 and gives and receives from 200. That is right. 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Yes, so this looks fine. The values I have there look fine. Let me check the previous one just to make sure. 150, 450, 250. So your 250 should be equivalent. Gives location 250. 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Yes, so that is right. And your receives is 200. My brain is getting tangled up here. Hold on, I gotta look at the code here. I don't want to close it. So, here. Let me get it out of your way. Alright, let me double check how I'm checking this. So I'm looking for a pipe that receives from the previous's gives. So you give at 250. And you receive at 200. But both of the... yeah, I think I might have found it. Okay, let's see. 0, 50. 150. 200. 250. 0, 50, 100. 150, 200. 250. Gives to 300. Receives from 200. 0, 50, 100. 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Gives to 250. Receives from 150. 0, 50, 100. 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Yes. Zero 50. It, like, skips a step. So is it the issue just that it only works with even or odd numbers of pipes? And that's why it only happens sometimes. I never counted the pipes. Okay. 0. Because what I want to check isn't this. It's, this. Because I want to check its current location. Okay, let me, okay, I already have it turned back on. Are we good now? Is that what it was? Because in that case, I may not even care about the receives variable at all. I might just... Well, no, I do, because I care about the direction it goes at some point. Just not yet. Okay. Shoot. How do I get the value of a key? Let me see. I know what I'm talking about. How do I explain this? So, I want this location. I guess I could do it as a vector too. Because yeah, this gives me a vector too. Okay, yeah, I know what to do. So this is good. And I wish I could just get the location like that, because the key is... I just do it like this. Because the key is... Oh, hello! Hello, Bandicoot! I am just solving a very mysterious bug! Please enjoy my suffering! Might as well! Let somebody do that! It'll make it worth it, right? But I think I might have found it, so... Yeah. So yeah, I think I might have found the issue, which is very nice. So let's see if I'm correct. I'm gonna try a bunch of different combinations here. So I can't move, right? Perfect. Now I can. Okay, I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna add another pipe. Okay, and we're gonna do it. Okay, yeah, I think I found the problem. So basically, it was only working if there was an even number of pipes because I done goofed. So, oh no, it's okay. I think I figured it out. But I appreciate the offer, truly. But yeah, I think I got it. Because now I think everything's working again. Yes. So I have solved the bug. Unfortunately, I didn't get to all the things I was hoping to do today. But that's okay. Maybe I'll just stream again tomorrow. It'll be unscheduled, so it'll just be whenever I have time. But I at least found the problem that has been plaguing me for the past, what, like 2 hours? So, I'm happy. And I'm gonna delete all of my debug code. But I found it! It was very silly, as bugs tend to be. That's okay. There's tons of, like, free resources out there. You can get some, little packs and other things like that, and just do your code. My husband, for example, has been working on some stuff, and he uses a bunch of royalty-free music. I don't remember what site he uses, but it's out there. There's a whole ton of free stuff for game developers if you are, wanting to do that. And if the free ones aren't what you're looking for, well, there's some paid asset packs too. So, but there we go. Let's see. I don't have any debug code anywhere else, do I? I don't think I do. Yeah, okay. No, that's right. I do have one in one other place that I'd like to get rid of now. But there we go. I have at least solved that bug. I might do another stream tomorrow. We shall see. Here's my other debug. Okay. Just so that this way I can finish implementing the rest of the turn behavior on pipes, because I still need to do it for this guy over here, and these guys are going to be a nightmare. Is this going to be a game I finish and sell? Better! It's going to be a game that I finish and offer for free with an optional Patreon if you'd like to support my continued game development. So, should be very accessible if you would like to play it. I'd honestly love, you know, if all of you guys would try it out when the time comes, but it's going to be a little while. And thank you. Thank you very much. It was a very silly bug, but bugs tend to be like that. Basically, if I were to try to explain what the bug is here, let me see if I can put this into human words now that I have solved it. So what was happening is that the way I was calculating it before, I have a variable within each pipe telling which things it gets energy from and which things it gives energy to while they are connected. And so, you know, you'd get a chain like this, and then the red one represents, you know, the phylactery that you're trying to funnel everything to. And, so we'd go from here, and it would go through this. And I was calculating the chain based on, hey, I know this one receives from here and gives to here, so I'll just calculate the chain that way. But I was calculating the entire chain based on gives and receives. So if we count the grid here, I'll use the grid numbers. So we see that this one is on location 1, 2, 3. So it's on 3, and it will give to 4. This one receives from 3 and gives to 5. And that's how I was calculating it. But because of that, if I had like an odd number of pipes, we'd get to here and it'd say, ah, yes, it gives to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and receives from, 6. But I never once checked to see if the actual pipe was on the location that it was being given to. Never once. So I would say, oh yes, this pipe gives from here, or gets from here, or receives from here and gives to here. Okay. So I want to find one with a pipe that receives from where it gives. But these would never actually line up, because this one would receive from pipe 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it would receive from pipe 4. But this one gives to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pipe 5. So I'd be checking for the pipe that receives from 4 using a value of 5. And it just never lined up properly. So what I wanted to check was not where the pipe receives from, it was the location of the pipe. Right? Sorry, that was probably a really convoluted way to explain it. But yeah, basically I was saying that this pipe gives to a pipe at location here, and this pipe receives from a pipe at location here. But I never actually checked for the same value, because what I wanted was to know that, okay, this pipe gives to here, so I want to find this pipe, not the pipe that receives from here. And that's what was getting it all tied up. And it sounds equivalent, which is why it took my brain so long to find it. But the integer values just never lined up properly. And it would if there was like an even number of pipes, and that's why it worked sometimes. Because like I said, it sounds really similar. But no, I just wanted the location of this pipe, not that it was receiving from this pipe. Because I was checking against where this pipe gave to. I was not checking for this pipe. So, yeah, just, trick of the logic. But, there we go. And you know what, now that I've solved that, I've got some dinner to eat. So I think I'm gonna go take care of that. But I might be back tomorrow or before my scheduled stream on Thursday. Thursday is when I normally do things. That's when I'm gonna start implementing new features and stuff. That's my normal scheduled coding stream. But yes, I might be back before then to try to implement the dreaded turnpipe logic. So, you know, if you're interested in seeing me develop this game more, then I will probably do a bunch of unscheduled Guerrilla streams for it, so follow if you would like to know when I am live and what random times I decide I want to debug things. So yes. Well, thank you all for coming. Truly, the morale made debugging this dang bug so much better. So, truly, thank you all for being here. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today, too. And I hope to see you Thursday, and maybe the next time I do a debugging stream. So, bye-bye for now. I am tired.